My name is Erica Holberg. I think of myself as a virtue ethicist who uses the historical, ethical theories of Aristotle and Kant to better examine our own virtues, vices, conception of pleasure, and account of how pleasure matters for good living. My research is about the role of pleasure in moral development. I'm especially interested to explore ways that a too thin conception of pleasure hampers moral description and moral understanding. My project is about anger, its pleasures, and how these pleasures are productive of virtuous and vicious habits of anger, both in terms of individual character, but also in terms of larger social practices of anger. The thing I'm interested to explore in this project is how the phenomenology and practical considerations differ for anger done as an individual or anger done as a group. My intuition is that entry into group anger is more voluntary. Individual anger is in response to something, and it's about something that happened to you, whereas group anger is something the individual chooses to join in. As voluntarily entered into and then done for its own sake, that is, as done for the feeling of anger itself, group anger is structured more like an activity and more like pleasure. All anger is reactive, but group anger is centrally about feeling angry together with others, thereby furthering your self-conception as a member of the aggrieved group. The practical implications of group anger also shift. The object of group anger will be more diffuse, as this is necessary for different persons to partake in feeling angry towards it. Group anger will be less easy to resolve, often lacking a clear, unitary account of the wrong suffered and the appropriate remedy for this wrong. Moreover, individual anger, in its normal functioning and in order to be taken seriously as anger by others, exerts practical pressure. The point of individual anger is to secure redress for the wrong suffered, including revenge upon the wrongdoer. But group anger is different. Because we are all feeling angry as a group, I do not, on my own, need to act to resolve this anger. The dispersion of practical responsibility for anger also alters its temporality. An individual has more freedom to choose to enter into the anger, but also to set it aside at their convenience, without obviously undermining the validity of that anger in their own eyes or in others. These and other alterations in the formal structure of group anger, as compared to individual anger, are helpful for thinking about the virtues and vices particular to group anger. Group anger will be an important political force and a necessary part of righting systemic injustices. But group anger will also tend to keep people stuck in anger in ways that can easily become vicious. Moreover, shared ill will towards some object or persons external to the group that coheres through anger is not an adequate substitute, at least in my mind, for mutual goodwill, which is the kind of friendship that Aristotle thinks is basic and necessary for political community.